Welcome everybody to another tier list, and today we're doing one that should be a lot of fun. We're stacking fantasy protagonists against each other in terms of their power. That's right, we're going from the most powerful to the least powerful fantasy protagonists from the random smorgasbord I've put together here. I expect people to get angry. I expect all caps rage in the comments section. Hell, I encourage it, because you know what? This is just a purely fun list. This is just for everyone to talk about who could kill who. It's not a very serious topic, and it's one we're going to have a whole lot of fun tinkering with, and I'm going to put them in their various levels here. We have God level, overpowered, powerful, normal, and weak. And finally, actually, we have additional one, unknown, because if I'm unable to like break it down and really figure out where they should go, I wanted like a little trash area I could put them. And that's because I didn't really think this through. I just grabbed a bunch of random people from books I've read recently or are popular here on the channel, and I threw them together, and then we're going to put them where they belong, and then we're going to organize each row from most to least powerful of that row. And the end result should be a perfectly organized fantasy protagonist list where we have them all laid out nicely, and then everyone gets mad at me for being objectively wrong for insert reason I forgot here, and that's okay. I'm excited for it. And kicking it off, we're going to start right now with the legendary Geralt of Rivia. Now, quite obviously, Geralt of Rivia is not going to fall into weak. I also don't think he would fall into normal, because Geralt is a supernaturally enhanced human being. He also has magic, battle magic, at his disposal. Pretty much without question here, we're going to go ahead and throw him in powerful. Next up, we have an interesting combatant for Geralt of Rivia right off the bat. Someone who I think also goes into powerful. Well, he's not supernaturally enhanced in like a physically stronger than your average person way or faster, unless he's using a spell. He is someone who has magic at his disposal, and that's Harry Dresden. Now, who would win in a fight between these two? I like that these two are going off against each other right away, because I need to establish what kind of fight this is, because the outcome of this fight depends on a lot if they're starting 2 feet from each other or 40. I think for all these fights, what I'm going to do is say who would win if they were in like a gladiator style arena at opposite ends of the arena, like 50 feet away from each other, let's say. And that is actually unfair for Geralt here, but it's fair because it's what we're doing for everybody. But I think because of the distance, Harry's just got enough up his sleeve that he could incapacitate the Witcher or kill him, to be honest. I mean, he has a wide variety of spells that he can bring out, and Geralt's just can't quite get in the edge. I could see if they got hands on each other, it goes to Geralt 10 out of 10 times, no question. But Harry's just got a lot to kind of trap people who grab him, his cloaks on him. He's got all these little gadgets and doodads that I think just a little bit out edge the Witcher's arsenal there. Now we have Vin. Vin, for me, going in for this, she has like a standard set of the medals she carries on herself, and she is leagues above either of these guys, if that's the case. So I'm going to go ahead and put her in the overpowered. I don't mean that as a criticism. I'm not saying she's overpowered for her story. She's the perfect power for her story. I'm just saying, for like in comparisons to everybody else here, it wouldn't even be fair to put her against someone like, The Witcher. She would just tear them to pieces. She's supernaturally enhanced in every kind of way, leagues above them. Next up, we have Locke Lamora from Lies of Locke Lamora. He falls into the weak, unfortunately. It's like a part of his story that he's kind of a weaker guy. So he relies on someone else to be his muscle, really. I mean, he's not a fighter in a substantial way where he's going to be going up against any of the heavy hitters. So we're going to put him down in weak. Now we have Slowhand from Kings of the Wild. He'll go into normal. He's not supernaturally enhanced in any way. He's just a really big, strong guy. He's a tank. Next up, we have Dris Duerden. He's going into powerful for sure. He's faster than your average person. He's got a whole lot of magic at his disposal. Oh, man. This is tricky. I think he's fast enough and has the magic enough to beat both of these guys. Drizzt has some crazy speed feats under his belt. I mean, there's a reason there's a book that's him versus 1,000 orc is the premise. I mean, he's someone who, I don't think he falls into overpowered. Vin would still tear him apart, but he's definitely more powerful than these two guys right there. Now we have Kaladin. Kaladin goes into overpowered as well, that's for sure. But, ooh, this is a showdown early on that I'm not entirely sure what the outcome is here. So Vin Vin, her standard peak within her story versus where Kaladin is now at his peak in this story. I'm going to give it to Vin. They both have a lot of the same abilities in terms of super strength, in terms of super fast, in terms of being able to recover. But I think Vin is just better at everything she has at her disposal, and she has some additional things that Kaladin just does not have, especially when it comes to range. So I'm giving it to Vin there, though that's a closer one than I would initially think. Now we have someone who's really hard to pin down. Rin from the Poppy War and the Dragon Republic. Okay, so spoiler warning for all these books I'll be talking about, but I'll keep it vague as I can, so I won't try to spoil anything. Rin's real struggle in these books is controlling her magic, but she does manage to gain modicums of control towards the series. She's definitely not normal. I wouldn't say she's overpowered because she's still learning, and what she does is much more narrowed down than these guys up here. I think she might be able to take out the Witcher just because of her crazy output, like unbelievable output when she really loses it. But she just doesn't have the combat experience he does. She doesn't have, and in the specific setting we've laid out though, he really would have no counter for once she is letting go. But he does have his own magic as well. I think it's like roughly stuck. I would put her right there. It's close, but I'm going to put her right there. But here's the thing. Once she reaches her full potential, whole different ballgame. I feel like Rin will probably be in the overpowered, if not even higher, depending how that story goes. But right now, with the lack of control and the inexperience, she's kind of fumbling her way through her powers. And in this very controlled situation I've put in, that matters a lot. And these guys in front of her, all three of them, coincidentally enough, really have tricks up their sleeve to put the edge. Like, even if someone's more powerful than them, they can kind of get the edge and still survive. In fact, that's a couple of theirs, like, actually all three of them, that's kind of like what they do often, is just have people who are more powerful than them, and they're able to use their tricks to stay ahead. So I'm going to put her there for now, but with the caveat that she could shoot up this list. Next up, we have Nona from Book of the Ancestor. Nona is a very capable assassin with magic at her disposal that is a lot more direct than a lot of these guys. Man, I think Nona actually falls... Well, oh man, Dresden's got a gun. Harry Dresden carries a gun. And that is something that a lot of these people won't know how to deal with and gives him an edge. He doesn't always have it on him. So I'm going to go ahead and say he doesn't have it for this because he doesn't carry the gun with him. He often has his like glove compartment. It's not like on his hip all the time. So I'm going to say that Nona, him without his gun, would actually take it. No, God, but Harry's just such a bag of oddities in this list. Like, he's got so much crap he can just pull out of his metaphorical hat. But Nona, in terms of direct killing ability, is so good that I'm going to put her above these three. Because Nona kicks ass towards the end of her series, or trilogy. Next up, we have Roland, the gunslinger. He's oddly... So he has feats that are above and beyond what a normal human can do. So I think he's powerful, and he has a gun that he's supernaturally good with, which means he could just shoot a lot of people. I think I'm going to put him right. Oh man, that gun being supernatural is just not fair. That's the thing, man. Like, magic can only do so much with people who don't know what a gun is, and the second this fight starts, if this guy can just tee off a headshot, what can these people do? That's tricky. Yeah, I think because Roland is strong, he has ridiculous endurance, he's fast, he's super fast with his shots. I think I'm going to put Roland right about... Man, it's just like these people have like luck. You know what I mean? Like, Roland's supernaturally accurate, but these people just survive crap they shouldn't all the time. Like, that's kind of, plot armor. So how does their plot armor affect a fight against Roland? Should I incorporate that? I don't think I should. And if I shouldn't incorporate their plot armor, then I think it goes right about... I think he could kill Nona, and... I think he could even kill Drizzt most of the time, because he, in this one-on-one situation where they're just starting beeline across from each other, What could Driss do with a supernaturally fast sharpshooter just whipping out his pistol and shooting him in the head? Not much, especially when he can just do shot. And Driss in that time, I mean, he is crazy fast, but I don't think he's that crazy fast for me. Next up, we have a really interesting one to bring in. Some people would put Logan Nine Fingers in normal. Those people would be wrong. Well, these people all have magic in a way, or are enhanced in like a direct way that's basically magic, like Roland. Logan has the Bloody Nine, and that is above normal of any standard. So we're gonna bring him up here. Could Rin burn him to death to literal ash, which it would probably take, before he could get his hands on her at 50 feet? Probably, but yeah, I think that would be something that he wouldn't know how to counter or take down. Just a wave of crazy hot fire to incinerate him would be something to put him down. Would Logan Nine Fingers in Bloody Nine be stronger than the Witcher? I think he kind of hovers throughout all of here. It's funny, like, Driss could kill him. He's not getting past Drizzit, whatever you want me to say, because everyone yells at me regardless of the pronunciation. Nona, he'd probably kill Nona, if we're being perfectly honest, maybe. I'm just going to put Logan here and have another caveat for him that he could maybe kill some people higher up, but I think Rin just having a sheer wall of fire to just incinerate him, and him not being fast enough and not having specific tricks up his sleeve to prevent her from being able to do that right away, he can't get past her. He can't. Next up, we have Hagrid, who is normal. Yeah, he's a giant and he's strong, but he's not a trained combat person. I actually think Slowhand could kill him, because Slowhand is a tank in his own right and huge as a human, but also coming in with weapons that... Well, no, Hagrid uses his wand. He has his secret wand. I forgot about that. But is Hagrid willing to do something that's violent and brutal enough to put down Slowhand permanently? That's a good question. God, should I actually move Hagrid up to powerful? I forgot he's actually a magic user with a decent repertoire of spells. Yeah, but I'm going to say he's like the weakest of the powerful. He's the weakest, because... yeah, even Logan Nine Fingers could take him out. Like, once, I don't think Hagrid would understand the fight well enough. He doesn't have the combat intelligence to do something substantial enough to put down Logan Nine Fingers before Logan just ends the fight. So that's where that's going to go. And I think he might even take down Slowhand, but that's, yeah, with his magic he would. Now we have a very difficult level to put. Gandalf. Because of how Tolkien writes Gandalf's power level. He's not specific. But we also know that he's definitely at least a glass cannon, where we see Saruman, someone who's on his level, be killed by a bladed weapon, by Wormtongue, killing him. In the books and in the movie, that happens. So, assuming the same thing is true for Gandalf, even as Gandalf the White, that really puts him down in some substantial ways, but his output, we don't really know. It's this floating smorgasbord of maybe. Like, we don't know what's going on there. I'm going to put him in unknown. It's a cop-out, but it's one where I don't know where to put him, to be honest. Next up, we have Aragorn, who is kind of powerful, but I'm not really feeling putting him there. I mean, compared to any of these guys, they would put down Aragorn pretty handily. Aragorn is slightly stronger and faster than your average human because of his bloodline. He lives longer, but he's not like Logan Nine Fingers going into Bloody Nine. Like, he doesn't have anything near that level. So, could he beat Slowhand? Yeah, he could beat Slowhand, though. So I'm going to say he's the strongest of the normal for now. Jon Snow, who I think Jon Snow would probably beat Slowhand. No. Oh, that's actually a really good matchup. Slowhand versus Jon Snow. I'm actually going to give it to Slowhand because he's such a tank, and in an actual fight like this, having a shield, which Slowhand does, is a huge advantage. And if we're going for a realistic fight, which with fantasy characters is ridiculous, but a realistic fight, a shield's a huge deal. So I'm going to give it to Slowhand for that reason. Next up, we have Harry Potter coming in here, who's definitely stronger than Hagrid. Could he kill Logan Nine Fingers? Maybe. That's weird. Yeah, we see Harry do incapacitation spells that Logan couldn't deal with. I mean, if he stupefied Logan, and Logan started to get up in a berserker mode, he'd probably do something more extreme. He could just make him float in the air. That's something that's definitely within his character to do. Could he deal with Ren's fire? Probably. We've seen wizards deal with walls of fire. Could he deal with Geralt going all out on him? That's a good one. That's tough. Well, he definitely can't deal with Harry Dresden. Dresden is a more combat efficient and ready wizard than Harry Potter ever is. So I'm going to give that to I'm giving that to Dresden because Dresden has a gun. Well, not that, but Dresden is just a more combat ready and prepared wizard without a doubt, and has an equal just crazy backlog of magical crap he can bring to any fight. So it's between Harry and Geralt. That's the thing. Harry's got range. Harry's got range here, and that's going to be really hard for Geralt to deal with. Would Harry in character do something to just immediately incapacitate Geralt before Geralt can use any of his battle magic? Because once Geralt uses any of his battle magic, Harry's pretty much screwed because he can't deal with it, wouldn't know how to stop it. I'm going to say that Harry takes it like 5.1 out of 10 times. It's actually a surprisingly decent fight in my mind. Yeah, no, I'm going to say Geralt takes it like 5.1 out of 10 times just because of the level of combat knowledge. That's really important here. Combat knowledge matters. And Harry, while he is trained in defense against the dark arts, he's not trained against dealing with a witcher throwing a freaking sword at your face and using his own combat magic, which is a whole magic set you're not familiar with. And Harry has to use these long, slower words a lot of the times where Geralt does not. Geralt's magic a lot faster in a lot of ways, so I'm going to give it to Geralt there. Now we have Kip Guile, who's definitely falling into our overpowered list here. Lightbringer magic is... Kip gets powerful at the end there. Is he powerful enough to take down Kaladin? I don't think he's powerful enough to take down Vin. Vin at her peak is pretty insanely powerful. I'm not counting the very, very end where she ascends to a whole other thing. I'm just saying at the, 3/4 mark for the last book in her trilogy where she's at versus Kip. I think Kip loses to her. Kaladin, though, Kaladin still has room to grow and he's still learning his powers. And Kip displays a really surprising amount of combat knowledge. He's a turtle bear. He's a tank. His magic is ridiculously versatile. I'm going to go ahead and say Kip takes it for now, just because he also has guns. And I know that's stupid, but man, Kip, yeah, Kaladin can heal a bit, but a bullet to the head is a bullet to the head. Granted, they're old guns. They're not the best guns. This is tough. Does Kip Guile take down Kaladin? I'm going to say he does. I'm going to hand it to him, but it's another really, really, really close one. They're both so good. They're both really, really impressive fighters. No, I'm going to give it to Kaladin, I think. No, Kaladin. It's a draw. I'm calling it a draw. Let me know in the comments section why I'm wrong and why you're right. All right, moving on. We have Yennefer, who is in the powerful tier for sure. She's a very intense magic user. I think she would be able to take down Harry. Could she take down Geralty boy? That's an interesting question that's not really thoroughly addressed in the books. Probably she could. She has magic, and she understands his magic and his abilities very well. So I think she actually would be able to, but she couldn't take down Dresden. Dresden would take her out. We have Glocka. Glocka goes in weak. We have Randall Thor. Randall Thor is going to be our first god level. We're not going to go very end of Wheel of Time for him. We're just going to go like starting of Memory of Light for Rand, and he's definitely god level on some degree. He has reality warping, he has odds manipulation, he has multiple magic systems at his disposal, and he's mastered them. He's this Zen being, so yeah, we're gonna put him there. Then we have Nynaeve, who falls into overpowered. No, man. Nynaeve, again, I don't think could take out Vin, which I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me on. But Vin's fighting is so fast and hard-hitting that no one else in the overpowered tier list, I think, would know how to deal with that, except for maybe Kaladin. But no one is used to fighting someone who hits as hard and as quickly and unexpectedly as Vin. Vin's combat abilities in those books are insane. So I'm going to keep her at the most powerful of the overpowered, because she just is like a blender of blood and gore when she goes all out. I mean, she's the one who goes up against armies, just like, oh yeah, I'll take out all these Koloss and I'll be fine. So I don't think, even though I think if like Nynaeve and her were like just in a quick draw, Nynaeve might win, but I just think Vin is so much faster. Now, Nynaeve's got some pretty impressive instant speed feats too, and her output is so strong. Man, channelers are just ridiculous, aren't they? The one power, man, it's a whole other breed. I'm going to say she's about tied with Vin, and I'm going to say that she could definitely beat Kip in Kaladin because of how much versatility there is to her magic. This is going to be the final ranking here. I'm going to sweep through and see if there's anything else I want to switch around. Man, I keep forgetting that Kaladin is a bit of a healing factor, which actually would be pretty substantial in a fight against Kip. Kip kind of heals. He just kind of goes berserk. Man, I actually think I might want to... No, guns. Guns are a big deal. Guns are a bigger deal than a lot of fantasy fans want to give them credit for. I'm going to go ahead and say because of Kip's intense... No, I'm going to give it to Kaladin. Kaladin's feats, the more I think about it, I'm going to give it to Kaladin. Going back through here, do I want to really weight the gunslinger's just quick draw bullet to the head that high? Do I not think anyone would be able to deal with that? Anyone here would be able to deal with just an instant gunshot aimed right at their head? No, I honestly don't think any of them could. I think that is just an instant KO for all these people. None of them are bullet timers. None of them could move fast enough to deal with just a split-second draw bang. Is Roland that accurate? Yeah, he has some absolutely bonkers accuracy feats, and there's nothing that would be happening instantly to make him miss. Between these three, I'm really confident in this. Aragorn take out Slowhand take out Jon Snow. Locke could take out Glocka, that's for sure. Gandalf. Do I want to try and place Gandalf? I mean... I just don't know, because Tolkien is so vague. Tolkien does not explain anything. That's hard. Okay, he respawns, which is a little unfair, because it means you kill him and he comes back. Well, would that happen again? Probably not. Yeah, I'm going to leave him an unknown. I just don't feel like I can rank that properly. Let me know, though, what protagonists and villains you would like to see in the next one of these I tackle in the comments down below. I'm sure a lot of people have very different opinions on how this would go. Let me know why I'm wrong. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. This is going to be a very controversial list. I get it, probably my most controversial to date, and I'm happy about it. Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the Patreon if you want to support what I do here. And have a good one, y'all. Peace.